Hello and welcome back. We are playing Syria in Victoria 3 here, and last episode we left off on kind of a bit of a cliffhanger because Great Qing has joined against us in this play against Japan. And we were like, oh, we just get to fight Great Qing now, we get to take one of their states, it'll be fine. Except for, we have a power projection of like 1,500, they have a power projection of like 2,600, so our military is weaker than theirs, but we're going to try and fight them, and we're going to try and take Beijing, and we might try and get the UK on our side here. This is going to be a bit of an interesting war. Also, notably, something I checked, the sway we can offer them, there's only one they'll accept, and that's return state for Shaozhou, which means, or this seems to be the case, that if you... So my understanding is this is a treaty port. You can't incorporate a treaty port, but they have the return state CB on Great Qing here, so this might be another way you can try and expand more efficiently. Although when I've had treaty ports on China, I haven't been able to use the return state CB, but if you can use the return state CB, it's way less infamy. Now, why would we want to take a state off of China when we're doing so much trade with them and everything's all nice? Because we got adjacent to their market with our market, so we've been doing a ton of trade volume. So we're going to lose a lot of money in terms of a lot of our businesses will be way less profitable because we're doing a huge volume of trade with them. But we kind of just want to nab Beijing for a few reasons. One, the Forbidden City, which is really overpowered. But two, they have a huge population, and this population will just migrate to most of our incorporated states, and so it'll like drift from like 16 million to 10 million, and just getting 6 million more pops in incorporated territories is going to be really, really nice for like our colonization speed, and hopefully it will allow us to take a big chunk of the Congo, is kind of what I'm thinking. And this is kind of the only way to really add just a huge chunk to, or I mean it's not the only way, but it's a way to add just an enormous chunk to our, you know, an enormous population to our market. It won't be incorporated. We would not want to incorporate Beijing, but this is a really strong state to take. So what I'm thinking we're going to do here is we are going to add conquer state on Beijing. Ooh, we need to put an interest in the region, so let's do that. Let's just add interests all there, so we can make whatever war goals we want. And we maybe invite the UK. The UK might not want to join us after we add Beijing as a war goal, because we will be over 25 infamy. And before we add that war goal, we will also check all of our bankrolls to see if we can do anything, because once you go over 25, you'll have to drift under 25 before you can really do a whole lot of stuff, because you'll be suffering like the 25 malice. So for example, Iraq, if they're not defending the borders, they still are. Sind can almost get them. We can actually get them once they get an obligation, even when they're gonna be mad at us. But this is, we're also, we take a look here, we also expanded the military from 155 battalions to 210, so we added a third to our military, which makes our military quite a bit bigger. They are still confident. They do have the larger, you know, the more powerful army right now. And we have an election finish. I wonder who wins. Rubber. Alright, here we go. The Social Democratic Party wins by a small margin. Perfect. So let's see what we can look like. So I think this is probably where we'll settle on. This is the most legitimate we could do, it looks like. And we will be fairly legitimate. The rural folk, I really like that they're not marginalized. The industrialists, they might be drifting down in clout, but for the most part, we will be happy if they stay over 20% or over 18%, and we can make them happy again. Make industrialists happy again. But the trade unionist bonuses are better, and we don't want to invest authority into making them... We don't want to invest authority into managing clout, I think. Alright, we get our interest activated. So we're going to add Conquer State, Beijing. Notice all of these are 22.5. That is because there's an infamy cap, and the cap is based on population. This is one of the reasons why Chinese states are some of the best states to conquer, because the cap, you hit it at like 5 million population, and this is like 16 million population, so it's a way to like cheat more population in terms of conquest. If you could ever vassalize China, which is like, would be really, really tough, this would also be something you'd want to do. So we're going to put in conquer Beijing, and then we will see if we can still sway. Yeah, now we can't sway anymore, because they're like, yo, you're an evil dude, you're infamous. And so we will be on our own. Since we are going to be on our own, we will ramp up military even more. I think 250 battalions has a nice ring to it. So we will do that, I think. I know some of these places only had like 10. These have 25, 25. So we need another 40. So we're going to do 15 in each of these. That's 30 battalions. In order to try and win this war, which is going to be a little painful, I think. And then another 10 here. This is going to be a bit painful. Why do we have so much bureaucracy? We did add a bunch of bureaucratic administrations. I didn't think it was going to kick us up that much, but you know, so we went to 51 on government admins in the capital to get the max throughput bonus, and I was thinking we built 20. I had no idea we were going to get this much bureaucracy, otherwise I would not have built that many. But now we can do both of the surveys, as well as host a grand exhibition. Don't think we want to do that. But we can do both surveys here, or we are floating enough. So we will do that. And now we will have to decide what other war goals we want to add. Hopefully they don't sway Austria. We might have to go back to the drawing board if they sway Austria here. Although... Sure. We'll stick our finger in other people's pies. I think we want to release Manchuria and Mongolia. If this does pop off. Unfortunate. This war is going to go through. Looks like we cannot sway. No one else is joining, likely. So we're going to liberate a couple. We're going to do Manchuria and Mongolia. And get war reparations from Qing. And that's all it is. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. And it looks like we're doing okay on the money, even despite, you know, increasing the military by quite a big amount. Now, why are these battalions only 4? Ah, because they're winding up. Okay, fair enough. Thought we had more than 35 flotilla. There's 30. Is this just 5? No, this is ramping up. Takes a while for this to ramp up. We'll add another 5 in the back of the queue. They probably will not be available for this war. Brazen Expedition. We do not want to get this 14 infamy, so we'll just withdraw. A little unfortunate. Is that ruining our progress? I'm not sure. This war is going to pop off. They are cocky. They do have the stronger military. This is going to be an uphill battle. But I think this will be really big-timey. I think this is going to be a big episode here. I think we're also going to just try and land the capital immediately here. With the 73 stack. He does have Stalwart Defender. Could land with the 48 stack, but I think we're going to try and land with the 73 stack immediately. Because he is pretty good. Halil ibn Mustafa. Really not good with the pronunciations. But we will go for it. Now we are losing money at a decent clip. So we might have to delete, you know, some amount. Hopefully not too big. It's unfortunate we actually would have wanted to join this North Italian uprising as a means of giving us a war with Austria that doesn't involve Russia. Because we do not want to fight these two at the same time, but maybe... Alright, I think we thought that this guy was decent. Stalwart defender, open terrain commander, celebrity. Yeah, this guy's fine. I don't mind promoting him. In fact, let's see if we can make... so if you have plus 10 on the armed forces, we already have the bonus. This bonus is pretty good. Extra offense and defense. And our military is still ramping up in a lot of spots. So it's going to be a little while before this war feels very good. But it feels good in our hearts. We are incorporating here. I guess we'll just add some more of that. And let's play some whack-a-mole. We'll probably need more there. And we have had to play whack-a-mole quite a lot down here. It looks like we've already managed that, though. Russia's colonizing all the micro-islands, which is fine. We'll leave it to them. We will start to expand a lot of these mines. Rubber rush, rubber rush, rubber rush. More than happy to, you know, make this happen against this little guy. We will move our smallest guy over here. A little bit of multitasking here. Looks like we can still push on this front. China is not full committed to this, I don't think, yet. Or they haven't mobilized everyone. They've just mobilized this smattering, which we can fight pretty comfortably. Do not like the front splitting so much. We get rotary valve engine. Pretty big tech. The whole point is also us. We want to go for electrical generation. We are researching techs pretty quick now that we have... I think we doubled the amount of unis we have. Yeah. Let's take a look. We wish our government was more legitimate, but that will be solved very shortly by the acquisition of Beijing. And we're making money? Hot. Oh, we're kind of not making money. We're losing 90k. Oh my god, I blanked out on what I wanted to do. It's a bit unfortunate. Ah, yes. I remember now. Rotary valve engine. This is going to lose money, but it decreases employment, and it gets it so the laborers can go elsewhere for jobs. So we'll turn it on almost everywhere. We definitely want to be on public trams everywhere. We will swap to covered markets in a couple more spots. We've been slowly transitioning to covered markets. Arming the natives. If they want to fight, they'll get one. You want to fight Papua, you can get one. Fitting to catch these hands. Oops, we could go improve fertilizer. Of course, this will make a lot more fertilizer, so this might make less explosives, which is not what we're looking for. But we see that these are auto-expanding, so we will kind of contribute a little bit to that. And then, which is the mechanized loom one that we weren't sure? Alright, let's go rotary valve engine on these. Alright. We get our landing going. Pretty close, and we have more guys, so this fairly likely to turn around. Of course, we might not get it off on this one. It's looking good now. And once we have the capital, enforcing is a breeze. Might look to just add another big boy over there as soon as this goes off, because I assume they're going to reallocate everything over here. Great Shing, once we get in there. But our own guy might just be able to handle all of them. He's much stronger PMs, but just not very many guys. But he doesn't need to push, he just needs to hold once he lands Beijing. Or he'll push like once, twice. We actually need to watch this though in case it gets bugged. We have to make sure he gets on the front, and he is on the front. Perfect. And we are tackling the debt, but not really, because this investment pool is draining by quite a large amount. We will add these gold mines. Where is this? Let's see how we're doing on rails here. Not so hot. But this is the place that has honka honka. Look at all these gold mines. So much minting. Very, very nice place to expand. Especially because you just have to deal with Great Britain in order to get it. Albanian migration. The war is going pretty good. Can we move some guy who's got like a smaller stack? We can. Oh, I see there's just two fronts now. Okay. And I think we just are winning battles, but we won't necessarily be advancing too much. Ooh, well, we have 100 defense to their 37 offense. We might need to put another guy in the front, though. I think we're going to keep this as is for now. We're pushing through here. We actually want tensions to increase, so let's see if we can still maintain our bonuses. We can maintain our bonuses, so it'll increase tensions, make it more likely to pop a native revolution or uprising, which will be good for us overall. Let's take a look at what our taxes are like. Okay. That's reasonable. Let's expand construction a little bit. Anything auto-constructing here? No, not really, but we can try and 51 the Arts Academy pretty soon here. It doesn't get paid for by our transfer, but this is okay because our transfer is out, if I'm not mistaken. So we will actually full 51 it, which will grow the transfer, and then the transfer will shrink. Looks like we are slowly gaining ground in China. But just having any of the capital provinces will give you a ton of war score, so... Gonna make sure that all the new provinces are in fact subsidizing the railroads, because this is something that often happens. They are not, so let's make sure they're subbing it. Rubber discovered in Tonkin. Hot. Tight. Oh, it looks like we might be able to push through on this advance, even. I was thinking we'd kind of just hold ground here, but they are running out of troops. these fronts didn't get so funky, I might move... Actually, we're gonna move this guy over to here. Great Britain's colonizing Gabon. Don't like that. Oh no, wait. Don't care. Gives them a little snippet there, but that's fine. Let's look at our bankrolls and see if we can use the obligation for anything. So, Sind, will you join our customs union? Even with the infamy, they will. We're using the obligation. And I think we will stop bankrolling them. I don't think we're trying to protectorate and annex Sind. Now, of course, we do want to protectorate these guys, but they won't with the infamous. And they are cautious towards us, despite being friendly. So we gotta kind of sit on that. Kiva, can we invite you to the customs union using an obligation? We can. And again, Kiva, we are probably not going to look to incorporate. We do enforce on them. Nice. Make sure that we are colonizing. I think we want to actually cut off this southern area from other people, so we will add that. Oh, our place in the sun. Our colonial efforts in Africa have borne fruit, claiming a sizable portion of the continent for our own designs. Hot. I think that was just this finishing. Or maybe it was us adding this. I'm not sure exactly what triggered that. But we will add a port at the front and get that auto-expanding and get this auto-expanding. Kiva joins our customs union. The custom union grows. Scramble for Africa gets completed. We also have all this. Why don't we take a look at some of our journal stuff? We have surveys going on. We are making slow progress into them. Their PMs suck. We are losing a little bit of money, but this is fine. We will build our artistic centers here. Pretty excited to 51 that. It's going to give a lot more services. Speaking of services, services is a good that's like really nice to turn up. Because people cannot import it from you, and what it will do is, if we take a look at our lower strata, they're paying a ton for services. This is the most expensive thing. And if you get this number, getting this number really, really favorable for you. I don't know whether to call it high or low, because it's a plus percentage and a minus percentage, right? But getting that number really favorable for you is good for migration, because migration is based on SOL, not wages directly. So it's wages times like this SOL modifier. And so swapping that over is really great. And this, of course, will increase our demand for glass, which has been a problem for us to kind of get going. I guess we'll increase this for the throughput bonus. Add a rail. No, you don't need a rail, really. Let's just add a rail here. They'll need one eventually. This tooling workshop is doing work. Revolutionary Cathari starts to play against us. Might want to move one of our smaller guys over to deal with that. It looks like they don't have any troops, so we can deal with that kind of at our leisure. No frontier does last forever, that's true. This guy's just gonna forever be in our market, and we're probably never gonna protectorate them. Russia takes on Netherlands debt. I wish you knew kind of better when you could take on someone's debt. I would have been willing to take on their debt. Because I like the idea of pulling them into our market. We're going to bankroll them, actually, because we now have a bunch of extra. Now that we've fully gotten this block into our market, we kind of in a good spot for this. I guess Bukhara, we might want to bankroll and try and get them into our market. I really love going for this block, especially because it gives you an adjacency with Great Qing. It's really strong. We'll just add 5 there. Oh, this is a crime to not be 51ing here. Another crime committed. think we have this on auto expand. Let's add another 5 to 10. I think we're... How much are we paying in subsidies? Paying a decent amount in subsidies and interest. Welfare payments aren't too bad. Don't really want to change those because I don't want to make the Industrialists, them being powerful and pretty happy with us as being nice, is pretty nice for us right now. And at some point they're going to ask for regulatory bodies so we can give it to them. I forgot we hadn't expanded all of our institutions like all the way. So let's start getting on that because that is a big reason to have this much bureaucracy. Let's do that. We're not planning on incorporating any states anytime soon. It's probably not best for us to swap mid-war, but I always forget, so... I'm just gonna do that. Oil, you don't say. Caution. Right now we're gonna move one of these guys over, because this war is gonna break out soon. Hopefully that doesn't ruin something over here, or ruin a front. Doesn't look like it is. So Ibrahim this guy. Might use this guy to land Kyoto in a second. Once this battle finishes. Yeah. I understand. Could use this guy. Abin al-Malik. Oh, he's fighting a battle too? Shukuri something. Alright, we're gonna use him. Not sure if he can get it off, but he'll be fine. And this is to... Currently, I think, yeah, we can't go below 0 because we don't have the war goal. We don't have the capital. So we need to get the capital for that to work. And so by the time it gets to 0, I want to have the capital so we can decay. We have a movement for protectionism. Kind of fine not being on protectionism, but this would be a way for us to return some power to the Industrialists. Unfortunately, the Industrialists wouldn't like it. The reason it would return some is because it would decrease the investment pool transfer, which would, in effect, give them more money. Why don't we increase this by 10 and this by 10, and then add some rails. Get electrics. Now, notably, I think the brine electrolysis is not in here, which is something we really want. So let's find a state that's incorporated that doesn't have much going on for it. I guess there kind of isn't a state that fits that parameter. They just have that, but they have all the trade centers. This is incorporated and doesn't have any manufacturers, so we will put that in there. Now, we can go ahead of time for one of these electrical capacitors, which is really strong tech. I think I don't want to do that, though. Let's look at military. Well, maybe we do want to do this. We can just push reinforced concrete, though. Or we can push... I don't hate aniline. Just yeah, we'll do this just so we don't pay the penalty. Once we get the NAT spread done on the other tech, so yeah, that'll be fine. How are you doing over here? We only have a few bankrolls now. Iraq is the most important one. They're nowhere near accepting. getting crushed here. I really wish we were advancing this way, though. But I think we're going to enforce on China soon. We did ramp up the military a huge amount to do this. We're now the #1 great power. So in a pretty good spot. We're damaging relations with a whole bunch of people. None of them are dowable, but soon I think we will get there. Kind of wish we had more Diplos, so let's actually take a look and see if we can rival anyone. Cursed map mode is cursed. I think rivaling Spain is fine. We actually pretty good on the influence. They're antagonistic towards us anyways, and now we'll be able to bankroll the Confederacy, which is notably one of the few places that doesn't have slavery in the US. Yeah, New Africa doesn't have slavery, America has slavery, and the United States of America has slavery. America being the most America because 100% of the words in their name are America. And what happened here? Did we have a general die? Or move? What? Oh, we had a general auto move to here. That's fine, I think. For whatever reason. I think we'll also build some some power plants in the capital and put them on auto expand and play whack-a-mole here. Looks like we're doing okay. Perak abandoned Selangor. That seems like something I don't care about. But this I do care about. These will kind of keep auto-expanding their stuff as soon as they get up there. Yemenite people are migrating. Go Yemen. Had a couple railways there. Colonization's going quite good. It looks like, I'm guessing Russia does not have malaria prevention and we do, so we might be able to beat them in here and wrap around them, which would be really nice. Secure most of the Congo for ourselves. Japan's going to capitulate soon here, so it'll be just us against China. The entire point of the war was to open the Japanese market, but we couldn't resist taking Beijing. Since we got a nice comfortable war for it anyways, we were not able to declare war on China before because we had really good relations. Hopefully this doesn't completely break our ability to have good relations with China. We would like to return to a friendly status quo, if you will. We might want to start bankrolling them. Can we invite them to the customs? Their existing customs union's too valuable. And we're gonna have to, like, rough up Austria, I think, in order to do that. And force release Egypt, I think. But we are damaging relations. They're wary. So maybe we can get an alliance with them. Ooh, we can get a trade agreement. That's good. Hot. So let's see, now that we have a trade agreement, let's see what we can do. I really wish this interface was much better. We're gonna export furniture, we're gonna export, I guess we'll just go through all the things we normally export, which is all the finished goods, and see what we can do. More than happy to export fine art as well. Kinda don't want to export glass. We can export groceries. It's profitable. These will be profitable, probably. These will probably be profitable. Paper, not profitable. Fine. Porcelain, profitable? Yes. Steel? No. Steamers? I don't think we want to export steamers. We want to export ironclads if we can, though. Can we read? We can. Alright, import trade routes. That doesn't matter. Importing from them that can't do. Can we do fabric profitably? We can. Fruit? No. Fish? That's just barely not profitable. Maybe they'll make more fish. Grain we can import. Hardwood? No, not really. Iron we're already importing. We're importing iron from like everyone. Meat? Nope. Opium? Probably not. Paper? Oh, we can import paper profitably. Let's not, though. Rubber? Nope. Sugar? No. Silk? No. Tea? No. Tobacco? Wine? No. Wood? Already importing. Hot. Can import steel. So that is pretty good there for us. And that'll probably influence their attitude towards being, yeah. Which I think we want their help for fighting Russia and Austria, so this is kind of a good development. We have, oh, we don't have a trade agreement with them anymore. They must have bricked the trade agreement at some point. Which is fine. Definitely super okay with that. Are gonna have to expand construction. Let's, you know, add some of these. And some of this. Actually, let's just finish this out. And then take a look at the market. What's expensive, guys? Silk? Yikes. Okay. So we will solve some of that silk ourselves. Why can't you employ? I know we have another place making silk. Palestine. So we'll just kind of do some of this. Actually, let's just max it out. YOLO, you know? Now, maxing that out would be really uncomfortable if we had a huge investment pool, but we don't have a huge investment pool anymore because we switched from per capita to proportional taxation, which greatly kind of... We have this increased flexibility, basically. But we'll add one of these as well. And all the generals move over there, and we will... We don't have enough Diplo to bankroll them. We do want to bankroll them, though. Ottomans are cold. Yeah. Yep. Maybe this is... Maybe they'll cool down on their own and we can just bankroll Japan. Or improve relations with Japan. Because we eventually want to pull them into our market. The reason being... They have a really high population and we can siphon off pops from them if they're in our market. Also, we can send them consumer goods. I think we can send them consumer goods anyways right now. So we could start doing that. We did open the market for a reason. So we'll just try to send them the usual things. I guess we can send them weapons too. And they will modernize their military maybe. I guess we don't care too much about this, that we want to run an inefficient trade route. But engines, they'll start using engines. I guess maybe actually we don't want them to use engines. We might cancel that route. Fertilizer we want to send to them. Furniture we want to send to them. We can send them groceries so they don't start making them themselves. We can send Russia groceries as well. Don't have a lot of convoys available. Got to keep that in mind. I guess maybe we stick to stuff like tools then. They'll start using tools. They probably just aren't using them. Let's go to import trade routes. Of course, we gotta click on the Japanese market, see what's cheap. We're probably gonna start... silk is cheap. And then we finish the war. Alright, we're gonna keep going on. Fabric is cheap, and tea is cheap. Silk, fabric, tea, fish, grain. Silk, fabric, tea, fish, grain. Did I do fabric already? No. Grain. These guys do not have access to their own market yet because they don't have an interest yet there. And we get Beijing. We will put that in. Or actually, we don't want migration attraction there because we want migrants to leave here. But very importantly, we do get the Forbidden City with the throughput bonus of colonial exploitation. So now we're getting plus authority and we're also getting legitimacy. So now... we are righteous, where we would not have otherwise been, which means we're going to get more loyalists, which is going to be easier to get this approval on all these guys up to the point where we are running bonuses. We'll take an unpause. I guess we can swap the PMs over here. We probably delete most of this. I guess maybe we didn't want to delete all of it. And we will set these on auto expand for the wheat farms. We will also do this and increase them. Why don't we just 51 them? And of course we're going to add a bunch of railroads to the front of the queue. Like a whole bunch. And then we will also 51 silk here. And we'll set both to auto expand. I guess we'll just fill out this stuff, set this to auto expand. And we will need more bureaucracy. So let's take a look. If we have inefficient tax capacity, we do in a couple spots. We'll just add 5. That should be more than enough to handle it. We're not going to incorporate Beijing, so we don't need to worry about that. Where did you move your capital? Hefei? Sure. Southern Anhui? And they're starting a bunch of trade routes with us. We are one of the few people they can trade with. We will want to bankroll these guys. We can't afford the relation, but we do have now negative relations with Austria. So now they're antagonistic, so we can stop damaging relations and declare a rivalry. So now we can bankroll these boyos. So we'll bankroll and bankroll. I do think we might be in... No, we're still infamous, but just barely. And we should be able to declare more interests, I assume. We have one in Egypt, so I think we'll add a couple here and here. Add here. Let's do North Africa. Sure. You guys are amicable because we released you, but you're antagonistic because we're infamous. Oh, that's part of the reason. We are going to wind these down more. I think once we get some stuff to employ people. We're going to swap these over to industrial ports, though. Ooh, why don't we make sure everything's on an industrial port, all the recently conquered stuff as well. We're going to get rid of these in Beijing. We're going to swap over the conscription centers. And let's make sure all you are... Yeah, everyone's on industrial ports. Super. We get the Great Train Smash. I'm fine with them gaining popularity, so that's cool with me. He dies. Yeah, well, you know, stuff happens. Let's see what the new guy looks like. He's a radical. This is fine. Really like that he's in this party because I think this makes him exempt from getting marginalized. We would love the petite bourgeoisie to demarginalize. Looks like they're somewhat powerful. We are floating a bunch of excess bureaucracy here. I think that, let's see. One of the big reasons we're expanding the wheat farms, in addition to just trying to make, you know, grain cheap, is to use up fertilizer, make fertilizer more expensive to make the boom booms more profitable. Although I think they're relatively profitable that we aren't like running shortages anymore. Dyes is something we kind of want to handle. Can we get it from anywhere? Not really. We don't have a lot of convoys. Convoys are a problem. Did all of our trade routes resume? Yeah, these are just unproductive. Why don't we get rid of the least productive of these? Looks like the ammo and the boom booms. Import rope for coal. Do want to be sending engines to them anyways. It is really unprofitable because they're not using any engines though. Gonna need a rail up here. Gonna need several, actually. Still got quite a bit of expanding to do, so this is fine. I think I'm gonna add another port as well, because we are low on convoys. Just a moment. And we are back. So one of the big reasons why Beijing's so good, look at the pop map. It's like increased by like a third. And all these people are going to leave here and join the rest of our market, or they're going to migrate way over here. And this will make the labor cheaper. You notice standard of living's come down quite a bit on average, although a lot of it's still localized here. But this cheaper labor is going to make everything more efficient. Synthetics plant getting unlocked is also nice here. And we will now have our pick of whatever we want. I think I like mnemonic tools. Because we haven't discovered... We'd love to discover more of the rubber. Electrical capacitors is just so good, though. We had some electrical stuff finishing. So I think we can start turning on some of these PMs. Oop, definitely want this on automatic irrigation. And I think we want to go electric sawmills as our first transition, which should make these things employ. Because currently they should have like 0 employment, but this should ramp it up. We are going to need more engines for all of this. Our engines and this are on privately owned, so that'll hopefully help solve the problem a bit. We'll just do suitable offer. We're going to annex them anyways. And I think we will just do suitable offer for them as well. And we just won't acquire the land in Sinai. Oh, Austria's already acquired it anyways. So we could just take it from them. That's Styria, not... We're looking for Sinai. Why can we not conquer this? Seven infamy. So we gotta wait till we decay a little bit before we go after that. Wait, how many people joined against us? Diplomatic plays, conquer state. We will face Austria, Russia, Krakow, Great Qing, Peru, Bolivia, and Egypt. Yeah, that is a block, if I ever heard one. So... You want to be friends, buddy? We will finish downsizing that, though. Now that we're running a bunch extra, I think that we'll survey the skyscraper site now. And with Oman, we can puppet them pretty comfortably. I think we're going to do this. For whatever reason, we couldn't do it before. We think Russia might side with the enemy. This would be fantastic to get Russia in here, and just Russia and not Austria as well. Maybe we wait a little bit for our infamy to decay to the point where we won't be losing out. But then puppeting Oman just one step closer. Because then, if Russia, just Russia joins, this will be great because we can go after the Quasmid state from Russia. Which I guess we want to float some in order to allow that. So, yeah, so I guess it's a lot of sitting right now. We do have a ton of extra Diplo, which is going to help our decay, but we probably should be using it to try and get people into our market. Police brutality, we can't tolerate this behavior. Except we can, so we'll go into our institutions and just increase it right back up. So a big part of this is going to institutions. I forgot we're we're rolling in the dough in terms of authority, so we can put in another consumption tax, or we can get rid of a consumption tax. But we won't. If we got rid of a consumption tax, we could bolster an interest group. Would be kind of the thing to do. But our 3 interest groups that are big and trying to get them happy, you know, they're already pretty big. So it would be just trying to bring up the rural folk, which I'm not sure how good that is. They have powerful protectors now, unfortunate. Let's just check everyone. So Bukhara, we do have an interest. Why can't we change you? Not at least cordial. We'll absolve. 1 step closer. Them will absolve. 1 step closer to getting them in our customs union. And then these guys, do we have? No, we don't have them. And we have one on you, but we're kind of just waiting for you to get to stop defending the borders. Austria has started damaging relations with us. This is perfect. Of course, they are very likely to join in this Omani war. We get an obligation from Confederate States. Was that right after just using ours? No, okay, it was before. And we have a bunch of construction that's ready to go. So, we will add a bunch to the construction cube. Adding that, I think I'm going to 51 the electricity in the capital and then set it to auto expand. And it won't be the best right now, but it will be serviceable. And we're going to 51 here as well, kind of just getting ready to do a bunch of other stuff. Because we still want to turn on the streetlights and such. I guess we'll start turning on streetlights here. Again, services is a really nice thing to have cheap in your economy because people can't import it away from you. And it will increase standard of living. Unfortunately, these aren't employing very well at all in terms of jobs. It's a big sad on that. Love to incorporate these guys and take New York for the good place to put the electricity. Great Britain is importing clothes from us, which is nice. We're making money again. This is draining, so we're only making this plus this. So not too terribly much, but our military is pretty huge relative to where it used to be. The normal wage has fallen, which is probably why we're coming back to making money. We'll expand the navy a little bit. I think we will want actually quite a large navy for when we go toe-to-toe with Austria and friends. So we will... we want to have a naval advantage because we want to be able to land Austria. It would be really nice if we could get a subject in the form of, like, Bulgaria. Are we close to protectorating them? Not really. If they weren't defending the borders, we still wouldn't be able to do it. Could go after the likes of Bosnia and stuff, but I think this is not where we want to be. Just checking, often when you first release a nation, they will go hugely into debt, and so you can take on that debt. Relationship is poor. I really wish I knew I could have taken on their debt for an obligation. We will actually start bankrolling them, though. They take almost nothing. If we get America into the market, or America's already in the market, so getting these guys into the market would give them full market access, which would gas them up. And I think that because America's in the market, we're adjacent to Mexico, so we're going to try and get Mexico into the market. And Venezuela, generally, I try and conquer. So, I guess we'll just do this. We get an obligation from the Confederacy. Notably, they can change the customs union for free. And then can we protectorate you? No, you already have powerful protectors. Do you still have powerful protectors? No, but you are defending the borders. So we'll just keep on this bankroll. Once they drop defending the borders, we will be able to protectorate them. Gold fields are depleted. That's unfortunate, you know? You hate to see it. What are we running short of? Dyes? Dyes. What is this? Trucal states have been repeatedly annoying. Luckily, we are kind of just waiting for our infamy to decay, so it's really not a big deal. But it did break my train of thought, because I was doing something over here, and I've forgotten. How's the electricity doing? Not running a shortage anymore. Starting to come down in price. Okay, we're going to turn the lights on. I think in here. Floating a bunch of this excess, which does give us more construction efficiency, but I really don't think that that's... Maybe I need to revisit the math on that. I don't think it's too valuable a modifier. So I guess we'll just go all the way up from this. And let's see, who likes us? So we don't want to pass any laws. Well, so we could make the trade unionists happy. I kind of want to make the trade unionists happy. If we did this, we would make the industrialists a little bit, or actually we'd make them very upset. But we wouldn't make the trade unionists happy, but... Eventually we're going to want to swap some of this stuff. I think we're fine for now. We'll have a big electrical capacity once a lot of this starts finishing. Which is good because we are researching electrical capacitors. And we are now neutral with the United States of... Oh, wait, no. We're bankrolling them. We need them to get higher. Okay, fair enough. I think we're now not infamous, though. And we're close to the point where we can go after Oman. I think we're going to wait for this Trucal States play to be over. And then we'll go to puppet Oman. And then hope that Russia still wants to join. Don't want a defensive pact with the Sikhs. Although we probably... They're in our customs union, so we probably defend them if they get attacked. Transvaal is having problems. I think we don't mind Diplo getting Transvaal, so we'll bankroll them. We really have a lot more Diplo now that we've started getting a little naughty with Austria. They might embargo us once they get poor, which I think will hurt them more than us. I think that'll wreck their economy, so we'll add an oil rig here and set it to auto expand. France sides with Wallachia, and of course we do need some of this action. I think we will set these to auto produce dyes to Swana Uprising. Nice. That's a huge chunk up in there. We've almost cut off this lower area. Probably just put the gas on the pedal on the gas for this and try and cut off Russia as best we can. We get an obligation from Bukhara. They're amicable, so you probably are willing to change to our customs union. You're not, so we'll absolve to make you friendly. And it looks like we're making a decent amount of money, so we can think about expanding construction here. I'm just going to put some more construction, but I'm going to put it in the back of the queue. Just back up to 25 in the back. And we're going to add some more stuff here. So the silk is largely kind of being handled by this. The wheat is nice. It's fully employed. So now maybe we 51 the T here. And then we add a bunch of railways at the front of the queue. Or a couple. I think just 2 will be fine for that. People are importing boom booms from us. Oh, how the turns have tabled. Don't want the migration attraction's nice, but well, I guess actually we should have done the full migration because we've been having a hard time getting people there to fully employ this, but it's getting close now, so we're just gonna 51 this. That should be enough-ish. Just kind of trying to make sure this queue is well managed. It's good. Let us double check and make sure that, yep, they're all subsidized. Perfect. We get expand power plants. We're going to turn on electric fences now. Stable supply of power. We're going to get steam turbine faster. Can't wait to annex America. Looks like we'll be annexing Brazil soon here, though. Because they are negative. That's probably going to be a decent chunk of infamy, so we might want to go for Oman first. Before we get poor relations with Austria. So we don't want... I don't think we... Well, actually, maybe we're okay with Austria joining in here. When we go after Oman. Our market's pretty big now. Pretty gassed up. We do have an obligation with them. So this is absolve it. You would have full market access if you joined our market, man. Unfortunate that they don't like us. This is our experience when we take Beijing. That they really don't like us. Tributary broken. I don't think that's me. So this is gonna pop off. We will have cut off this down here. So maybe we pause in Hero. We'll keep going, but we just want this to expand faster. And maybe we take the Congo. This is something maybe is good. As in this Congo, so we can expand and try and cut off the Russia. Ooh. My kingdom for a queue that fills itself properly and intelligently. Looks like this is auto-expanding engines though. And the engines are fully employed, so we're just gonna straight up 51 it. So this will be 46, 51. We have monitor. I think we'll make that swap immediately. It's gonna be a nice one. It's gonna make our steamers cheaper. Great Britain's importing silk from us now. Yeah, engines should be really expensive because we just built all those silk things. Do need to find a spot to make low-level engines. We will 51 this here as well. 21, 2, 3. You get the Radical Party. Nice. Let's take a look. Oh, it's just the Intelligentsia. It's kind of whatever. I was hoping for the huge Radical Party block. The rural folk, interestingly, did not swap to the Radical Party, despite being radical. But what I was thinking is I can make my car engines here, so I'll just level 10 it and just leave this here, because eventually we'll make automobiles out of there. Electrical capacitors is getting close. Yeah, after this war finishes, we'll have to choose between vassalizing Oman and also annexing Brazil. I think it's going to depend on just how much infamy we're at and how much the Brazil one costs. Yeah, really, we're starting to get close here to having all of Arabia. But for now, this episode has gone on quite long enough. So this episode, we just had the absolutely huge war here with Great Qing. This has kind of been one of the... It was one of the big-ish wars. It was one of the wars of all time. No, it was a pretty big war with Great Qing. We get Beijing, the Forbidden City. This legitimacy from head of state and government is just so strong alongside parliamentary republic, because you just like... It's very easy to keep full legitimacy. And capped, and plus the extra authority is nice. We get another consumption tax, and also the population is nice because we're siphoning it off. But the reason, you notice it started out at 16 mil, it's already down 1.5 mil from migration, and these are all just migrating to our other states over here, and so it's going to make labor cheaper. Now the big reason we did this is because we wanted to open Japan's market. This is generally a really nice play to do if you are looking for something that's low infamy. Also a good reason to colonize Hokkaido, so you get kind of a nice little easy push into them, and also a native interest here. But we opened up their market. We're going to try and bring them into our market. The big reason why is, again, population and migration. Their standard of living is struggling, and they have a huge population, which means siphoning off is really easy. Also, they have a ton of consumers, so you can just export and dump a whole bunch of goods into the market, make your places really, really profitable. This is a big part of why, you know, we're making so much money now, because everything is really profitable, which also insulates us against when we will eventually be having a fight here with Austria, which is kind of coming closer and closer, both Austria and Russia, in terms of us fighting, because we need to fight them in order to take all of Arabia, which is the goal for the run, is to fully occupy Arabia. So we will be just straight up taking this from Austria. In terms of the next war we declare, next episode, we're either going to be taking this from Austria, we're going to be subjugating Oman, or we are going to be annexing Brazil, which will also be, or puppeting Brazil rather, which will also be pretty big. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.